everybody, Scott here from the Jostens service station. Well, somehow we made it to the end of this historic school year, but we do have one more fill-up yet for the month of May. Coming up in a moment, some great ideas and thoughts from a top advisor from the state of Nevada as we begin to look ahead to the next school year. Listen for some interesting views, but first, let's run down some news. I suppose the first question is, how are you? Hopefully you're well, doing okay. Yeah, doing this online learning and being stuck at home for 2 or 3 months is getting pretty old and pretty tired, but will we be doing this again come August or September? Well, the answer right now is nobody knows. Hope not. But no matter what happens, your 2021 yearbook will happen. The stories always continue. And now is a good time to start your preparations for your upcoming 2021 event. Now, if you haven't been paying attention so far and you're a Jostens school, you have so many great, amazing new tools to use next year. So let's start with a rundown. Let's begin with the new tool being used right now for your 2020 effort. It's our brand new Jostens virtual signing tool. This was activated in mid-May and it's for any school out there, even non-Jostens schools. Our thought in this is that this year, every student everywhere deserves the chance to get those prized messages from their friends, written messages. This is not about videos. That's too complicated. They'll get lost later. It's not about working with some third-party company that limits you but then wants more money. This was actually put together by our own Jostens tech team, the best around, and it's simple to use, and it's all about written messages, which is what every student wants. Every student will get a chance to get their own unique URL web code, which they then share out with their friends. The friends can then go online and sign a page in their friend's book. Later on, the student can then download the pages, print them out, place them into their own book. Easy to use and absolutely free, as many pages as you want. Maybe you have a lot of friends. If somehow you still don't know about this is available for anybody. Make sure to contact your Jostens representative for more information. Next up for Jostens schools is our cool new Layout Pro online page creation tool, now up and running for all Jostens schools. After 2 years of work, it's time for Pro to finally take the scene and no more of those annoying flash messages in your browser. For many years, our Yearbook Avenue page designer was the top dog, but now here comes Pro, which is great for use on any computer, including Chromebooks, and even including some newer iPads. Now, your Jostens representative in your area will probably be doing some online training here in the coming weeks or over the summer. Yeah, we'd really like to do it in person, but of course that may not happen for a while. So stay tuned, contact your Jostens representative to see how you can get some training on the new Layout Pro. And coming up a little later on, our amazing new Jostens Yearbook Plus digital tool. This is a fantastic new way for every student in school to tell their own story simply by uploading up to 10 pictures of themselves, always moderated for appropriateness. Actually, anybody pictured in the book could use this. Teachers, staff members, anybody. Now, this is not an app. Nobody wants that on their device. Instead, you can use any device at any time to make Yearbook Plus work. And actually, if you're at other things like a football game, homecoming night, chemistry class, and yes, those things will happen again, upload pictures that the yearbook staff, you could then use in your book or for possible digital viewing later. And all of this is tied to direct pages in your book. You've got to have a book in order to make it work. This is an amazing new tool which could be a real game changer in your school, a chance for everybody to take part. If you'd like more information, of course, contact your Jostens representative. They can help show you how you can really use this amazing new tool next year. Well, as we wrap up this school year, we recently talked to a top yearbook advisor from Las Vegas. Now, be sure to listen to our Yearbooking Report podcast for the entire interview, including tips and ideas on organizing your staff, responsibility of students, and more. But here we wanted to just discuss the question that everyone's asking, what's going to happen next year? Are things really going to be different? Are schools and yearbooking somehow going to be changed? Our guests had some pretty interesting views.
Hey, I am Matt LaPorte. I am from Las Vegas, Nevada, and I am the yearbook advisor at Southwest Career and Technical Academy. The kids just finished up their theme projects. They did that all virtually. I gave them some framework in terms of what I wanted to see from them. And then they had little groups that they worked in, and they figured out how to go about collaborating and communicating and putting it together. We did some formal presentations, and we have a theme decided, basic concept, because that's fun, and they're home, so they have a lot of free time to do things that they think are fun, looking for fonts and visual inspiration and making videos that they could use as a promo. Like, that's all fun stuff. So that wasn't really difficult. I don't plan on asking them to do anything over the summer. I find that that's a exercise in futility, and I'd rather not put myself through that. So we're going to see what they choose to get done over the summer, and then we're going to have to leave our ladder in flux. I mean, a lot of the time, or all the time, we do at least 3 spreads of summer coverage. And right now they're trying to figure out what will that look like, because we've done about 7 or 8 potential spreads right now for COVID. And at some point you have to let that go. You don't want the whole yearbook to be just about this virus. And we pick up our year in March. So next year's yearbook goes from March to February. So we'll be telling the story of what happened during the quarantine. I think that people are going to be way more comfortable now with using teleconferencing to conduct interviews, because now people have been forced into understand the technology. For so long, we've told kids, interviews are best face-to-face, but we sort of have dabbled into the world of FaceTime or Google Hangouts. And I think now it's going to give more access to students, because they're going to be able to teleconference with people that maybe are in a state over or even a country over. And instead now of having to worry about, well, that person doesn't know how to use this particular technology. I don't think that there's very many people here that haven't done at least one Zoom and have figured out how to access it, and that it's not really that difficult. So I think it's going to maybe open up technology for more people, especially in terms of communication. I think social distancing is definitely going to be something that's going to become the norm in terms of, things like shaking hands. A lot of people are saying, I'm not shaking hands anymore. Why have we been shaking hands? It seems like the easiest way to transfer germs. So what is that going to look like, So I think that there's definitely going to be some things that change. Journalism and yearbooking, at the end of the day, telling a story is telling a story. How that story gets told, that might be different. We might be way more reliant now on writing than we have been in the past. There may not be the images to support what it is that we want to tell. So I think that's going to be one of the biggest learning curves. We all want to tell great stories, but that doesn't mean that we have the pictures to go along with it. And we know copyright exists, so you can't just go onto Google Images and just start taking pictures of things related to COVID and calling it your own. So there's going to have to be some creativity in the way that we depict that visually and verbally.
We appreciate Matt giving us some of his time to talk about his staff's efforts with a look to the future and some great advice for newer advisors. But again, that was just a small portion. To hear the entire 45-minute interview filled with more ideas and insights from Matt LaPorte, check out our podcast at the address shown on the screen. And be sure to follow our Yearbooking Report podcast so you never miss an episode. Finally, a quick word on yearbook distribution, and this year this should be one for the ages. A lot of schools who have done this already have done usually what's called a drive-through distribution for safety and distancing. Some schools are going to hold out hope for summer that maybe by then we can start to gather, but no matter what, this is an historic school year 2020, and the goal for your yearbook is to sell out. A lot of schools have reported doing just that. If you haven't done this yet and haven't made your plans, it's time to start thinking about your yearbook distribution. And while you're at it, make sure you invite some local media people to come over and cover it. Why? Because it's that kind of spring. Well, it's a bit hard to believe that another school year is ending finally, right? Here's a big thank you to all of our Yearbooking Report guests during this past school year, and we will hope to see you again come August for another school year. No matter how it starts, no matter what happens, the stories of your school and the stories of your people will always continue. Thanks again for watching.